Jesse TV, changing lives.
All right.
Jesse TV.
Hi everyone, this is Morrison once again at Truth Be Told Global Foundation. I am so thrilled, I'm so delighted today to be coming to you live, and thanks to JCTV that is actually helping us out to reach to you in a more comfortable way wherever you are, in your living room. You might be sleeping, or maybe you're just driving. Wherever you are, we are thankful and grateful as TBT to reach to you today. And today is a special day, and you want to keep on enjoying this kind of teachings, this kind of truth, wherever you will be. Don't hesitate to reach out to our YouTube channel and subscribe. It is Truth Be Told Global Foundation. And don't hesitate to like on our Facebook page, Truth Be Told Global Foundation. Ours is to help people help people. So if you find this interesting, this is important, this is amazing, please, share it with a friend, talk to your neighbors, and let them enjoy what you're enjoying. So today we came with a very provoking topic that has actually touched me, has touched my friends, has made everyone ask us, like, what is happening? What are you going to talk about? And why this? So we called it, It's All Prostitution to Me. Times and times, we have chased things that don't really matter first. And when you look at the word prostitution, it is actually exchanging the valuables into something that is cheap. I don't want us to look at those ladies on the streets and those men buying those prostitutes. I want to assure you that prostitution has actually reached in our offices, in our families, in the circles of friends. It's all prostitution to me. You've ever seen people, you want a job that you're not actually created to do, but because there's money, you can do it. You've heard people, I can do anything. I can do anything. I am not denying that. Yes, maybe you have the ability, you have the potential to do everything. My point here is, are you living to your potential? Are you doing everything to the purpose that you were created for? Truth Be Told comes to you today, and we're saying it's all prostitution. We live in a world where our souls, our talents, our gifts, and all our skills and knowledge are traded for material gains. The Bible says in Matthew 16:26, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their souls? Families, children are crying out because they are emotionally disconnected. I would rather do three jobs to provide for my family. I'm not saying providing is bad, but our children, our families are breaking down because we don't have time. Excitement can wait. Enjoyment can wait. Because we are chasing things that we think matter. We are chasing everything with a view of looking great, to impress our neighbors, to impress our friends. Is that the goal? We are doing jobs that don't give us the joy. But the fact that we are paid, the fact that there's money, we can do that for a meantime. I call that prostitution. I could not find any other word. Exchanging the valuables. I'll just say, the exchanging of what is valuable to what is cheap. Money, souls, power, position, influence. all that. We can get that as long as there's money. One of the famous finance men in the U.S. called Dave Ramsey says, we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people that we don't like. A lot is happening in the world. The other time I usually talk to a lot of people, and this friend of mine sent me a message, and it's like, you look at couples and all you can say, the reason they are still together is that car they're driving. Wanting to impress the people that we don't even know. I am not saying being rich is bad. No, we all love to be rich. God can bless each one of us. But we are earning and getting all these things on the expense of the things that matter. Today it's hard. My heart is just breaking because we are chasing things that don't matter on top of the things that matter. Look at time. We've been talking about time. We've been talking about relationships. We've been talking about car. We've talked about very many things as TBT. We don't want you to miss a thing because this is the truth. That's why it's called Truth Be Told. Truth Be Told, Global Foundation is helping people to help. We want to help you with the knowledge. Today is tough. It's tough on me because prostitution is all around. I want to share with you a story in the Bible, the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 8. I'll not read it, but I'll just pick up things. And after God had delivered the Israelites, you remember the deal was, I'm taking you to the land of milk and honey. I just want to pause a little bit and forget about honey. Moreover, milk. He's taking them to the land of milk. And they have reached there. When you read Deuteronomy chapter 8, he's actually reminding them, do not forget. When you have reached there, you've eaten everything, you have satisfied and bought land and property. Do not forget where I got you from. And now they reached in Canaan, the land flowing with milk. I would say that again, flowing with milk and honey, and then they turn against God. Some versions say they argued with God. Now they start arguing, and Samuel and his sons Abijah and Joel had actually not walked in God's way. So what happens to this is that the elders sit down and say, now Joel and Abijah should just step down. But all we want is a king. Remember, God had been at the helm of leading this nation, taking charge of this nation, because this was a chosen nation. It was a chosen race. You and me, chosen people, close to God's heart. And they come and say, now we need a king. What's the reason are they giving? Reason is that they wanted to be like other nations. That's ridiculous. It sounds like prostitution to me. God is at the helm. He's a provider. He knows it all. They're saying we need a king. Maybe it has happened in our country where we've put much trust in our leaders, in our MPs, mayors and everyone. We think these people can give us everything. I am not against any kind of politician. I'll use the word politician for clarity, because a leader only identifies with people. A leader knows the problems, the challenges of his people. But I want to use the word politics and politicians. So we trust much in the politicians. They can do anything. Actually, when the story continues and God is actually warning these people, you see, you guys, you want the king, this is what he's gonna do for you. He's actually going to mistreat you. He's actually going to take away all your property. He's going to take even your animals. And some of you are going to be slaves in his home. This is what the king is gonna do after I have given you this king. I imagine they even sit down and they say, no, we want the what? We want the king. We want the king. The other reason they say it's ridiculous. They say because he's going to judge us. Because he's going to fight for us. Two reasons. I wonder what king, what politician can judge us. He's going to judge us. He's going to fight for us. It is only God that can fight for us. They are exchanging the beautiful scenery, the beautiful leadership of God, and saying, no, we want a king. And God's not is warning them from the beginning. You guys, you're gonna regret it. And they're saying he's gonna judge us. He's gonna fight for us. Who does that? It's God that fights for us. They want to be like other nations. How many times we've wanted to be like other people? God has placed in each one of us a seed. I would call it the purpose. Each one of us has meaning. You have something to accomplish. We enjoy doing people's assignments because we don't know ours. Each day you wake up in the morning and you're going to work on the job that you don't like. It breaks my heart because God has given us time, has given us knowledge, and He has blessed that purpose in each one of us. I don't care whether you're young or old. Each one of us has that kind of great purpose in yourself. And God has put that purpose in you, that when you work on it each day, life becomes amazing. It is okay to postpone excitement. What am I thinking about? It is okay to postpone happiness. No, it's not okay. You do not know the time you have here. Each time must be lived to the maximum. Each time must be lived as if it's the only time. Enjoyment cannot wait. I've seen people who have worked for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. And maybe you think you should prove a point to the people around you. The Bible says, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? There's nothing we can give in exchange for our soul. No amount of money can buy our soul. It sounds like prostitution to me. It's high time we stopped looking at the ladies and the men on the streets selling their bodies. We have sold the most precious gift that God has granted to each one of us. How many times do we go back and hug our children, hug our wives, our husbands, and relatives? It doesn't matter because all that we are chasing. Solomon reminds me in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, says meaningless, meaningless. All is meaningless. Suddenly he had it all. He had it all. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and everything. And he comes and says, meaningless? He says, all is vanity. What matters? What matters? After all those years serving on a job that you don't love and you're frustrated, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of worries. We are actually depressed beyond repair. When a man reaches at that level where he or she is irreparable, that you cannot repair, we only need God. We have trusted our leaders, which is very, very okay in your view, but it's not okay. because we have said, God, we don't want you. It's okay for you to be in the other corner. We can actually do it on her own. We can actually do it on our own. The emotional part of our children being disconnected from us, it breaks my heart. Wives no longer have time for their husband. The husbands no longer have time because probably we are chasing things. The other day, a friend of mine told me, Morrison, for you to survive, for you to do something visible, something great, tangible, you gotta have to get some loans. And that thing reminds me of how pride and self-preservation and wanting everything for ourselves, stepping on people's, bosses are just exploiting their employees. It all sounds like prostitution to me. It's prostitution at an advanced level. We've actually made it, so elite that you can do prostitution in the office. You can do prostitution at our workplaces. Maybe one day I'll come and explain the word work and job. Work is something you're created to do. A job is something you're created. You're qualified to do. We are doing things. And if you find your job is your work, then that's incredible. You're living to the maximum. At TBT, we believe that every individual should live a life to the maximum. Everyone should live a life that you are created to live. Each day, there's no day that should pass by when you're not living your life. That's amazing. So how much energy, how much time do we really put to maintain these jobs? I wanted to say a word manipulation along the way. Employees, people that are on jobs have been manipulated. And this word is not actually new. Manipulation is actually using the skillful and mythical ways to actually, it's skillful handling or controlling something or someone, either to keep them royal and dependable. These people, we've sold our powers, we've sold our beliefs and say, no, you can pay anything you want to pay me as long as I can provide for my family. We need to find that purpose. And with TBT, we can actually help you find that purpose and live it every day. That's our goal, because we don't want to see people living like animals. Want every individual at every age, at every step of life, to live a life that God has prepared for you. So, rather than, having those stuff, belongings and property and all that for appearance, what would be the ideal? Why would we work so hard to impress the people that even don't know? Why would we work so hard on the things that we don't love? It's a question you just need to think about. As I continue, the joke about these guys going to the land flowing milk and honey, and they forget about milk, and then they want to be like any other nation. It pisses me off that if we cannot find pleasure in the leadership of God, if we cannot find pleasure in trusting God in every way, in every corner of our lives, life is going to be hard. We are not going to be satisfied with everything. Every day we are chasing this, every day we are chasing that. We are not going to be satisfied. We are not going to reach at that point and say, God, you matter. Because everything is meaningless. Those are the words of the most wise man in the Bible. Everything is gonna be meaningless. Let's earn our status, if we're going to earn a status, in a way that is pleasing to God. This nation faced the challenges out of their adamant refusal to let God take his position. They carried him and put him in the corner. How many times have we carried God and put him in the corner? We can do this on our own. It's impossible. It can never be possible. It is only God who knows where we come from and who knows where we are heading. It's all prostitution. To me, the other day I was talking to a friend, and this time I listened so much from people. And she told me, actually now I learned dowry is so expensive. I'm like, what do you mean by dowry? And then, when you're taking a lady, you have to pay some amount of money. And I'm like, so what do you mean? Like, you have to pay some money to take this lady. And my mind switched to, it's all prostitution. There's no amount of money. I'm not against dowry or bride price. There's no amount of money that can buy someone. You're priceless. God has put that price tag. We call it the image, the likeness. He says, you're created. When you read Psalms 139:14, says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He has created you in that amazing splendor image that no one can take it away from you. His reputation is on you. So you gotta trust God. You gotta put him in all that you do. So the reason for demanding a king was that they needed to be like other nations. Now, comparisons. How many times do we compare ourselves? In relationships, in families, at the workplace, at the workplaces. We compare ourselves each day. The only way, the only acceptable way to compare ourselves is to compare ourselves with the way we were yesterday. If you are like this, tomorrow you should be better than the way you were. That's the only comparison that we can agree with at TBT. Because if we're going to compare ourselves to the people around us, it's going to be hard. You do not know what I go through. You do not know what your neighbor goes through. That's life. So let's be better, knowing that the Creator has pressed that image, that character, that attitude, that amazing thing on us, so that we look up to the Creator than looking up to the people around us. We did a couple of months, we did a topic about identity. And our goal was to let everyone know that God has pressed an identity in you, that when you know him, you will know yourself. And that's our goal, that we know him first, and then we'll find ourselves. And this reminds me of everything that was created must survive from the Creator. Our survival, our thriving, our striving, our blossoming, or maybe sprouting, must depend on the Creator. I've never seen a plant that never depends on soil. We have to survive simply because we put our trust in the Lord. That's remarkable. And when we don't miss out that point, then everything will be remarkable. Like I said, no king can judge us. No leader, no politician can judge us. And one famous man said that, the way the world is, whatever the circumstances you are going through, it's because of you. Whatever you see and you want it to change and you've not changed it, then you're bringing problems. In the book that we're working on, there's a chapter where we reached and we said, what you are is because of you. No one is going to change that. But we've got to put our trust in the Lord. For us to reach at that point and say, yes, surely it has been God from day one. We've got to trust him in every step of our lives. So manipulation is at its peak. You guys have heard of first world countries? On top of that, we even have first world people, the haves. They have it all. So therefore, they can do everything. And because we've given them powers, we've given them the ability. We are saying, guys, lead us, take control over us, decide on our behalf and do everything that makes sure as long as we are surviving. And I don't know where that started from. If we could talk about that maybe next time. But God initially had warned these people. And I believe this is the same warning is actually sounding now. That if we really turn to him as individuals, as organization, and begin to depend, to tap on the blessing, to tap on the Creator every day in all that we do, life is going to be remarkable. Life is going to be amazing. And we can live life and live it to the fullest. To the fullest. So, they did not have time for God. Do we have time for God? Do we have time for God? As looking at life, sometimes we love chasing things. Now, you chase things that don't actually develop our soul. That the things that don't make our souls at ease, at power. We've sacrificed our happiness. We've sacrificed our families. We've actually exchanged our moments with families. We don't have time for these small things. Couple of months I was tested COVID positive, and one of the things they told me was to enjoy sunshine for 30 minutes. And I looked at this dog. I'm like, okay, so I've not been enjoying sunshine. I realize that most of these things we don't give them attention, but they matter. God matters, whether you know it, whether you don't know it. So we need to turn to God, obey him, do all that it requires to do. Begin to focus on what fulfills our souls. As a wrap up, as truth be told, our goal is to help you with the truth, to help you with the knowledge, to help you build that, that organization, build that company, build that family on the foundation that God has put for us. We all can look at someone who is richer than us, but we can also look at someone who has greater need than ours. So we all can give something. A rich person, there's something that he needs. A poor person, there's something that you can give. So each one of us have to be in a position where we are doing something that God requires us. For our own pleasure, our own glory, our own benefit, it's not God's design. It's not God's design. We're going to do everything according to how God has designed it. So we are going to leave this tendency of saying prostitution is on the streets, prostitution is all around us. And we're going to do that by focusing on the one who created us and begin to give time to the things that matter first, and then we will have a life, amazing, great, astounding life. And yes, truth be told, is helping people to help people. And I want to thank you, the viewers, those that reach out to us in the course of the weeks, and those that have actually made sure that they want to know what's happening, what's clicking, what's going on this week. We want to thank you so much, because at least knowledge is great. Knowledge is amazing. If we can tap on the blessings of God and know that all that we want is to live today. And I want to say a couple of things and say, do not hesitate to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Truth Be Told Global Foundation. press that like button on our Facebook page, Truth Be Told Global Foundation. You can actually check out our website, www.tbtug.com. You can check it out, and let's interact. Let's walk with you that journey. Let's, amazing. And God richly bless you. I am Morrison. Yes.
Jesse TV, changing lives.
Bizinensi yange yagwawo ku lwa korona, kati obwavu bunnuma. Bannange tubeeko kye tukola okumalawo korona. Nze nsazeewo kubanga naba mu ngalo ne sabbuuni buli kaseera nsobole okwewala korona.
Okusoma kwange kutaataganyiziddwa nnyo korona, naye sikiriza abantu kunsemberera okusobola okutangira okusaasaanya korona.
Business tetambula, tewali baguzi, abantu tebalina ssente lwa korona, naye nsazeewo okwambala masiki okwetangira okusaasaana kwa korona.
Nze nembeera nedda njikooye, tewali kasente, byensaasaanyizaako ssente byo byeyongera bweyongezi. Abaana bali waka, naye nsazeewo ngenda kumulwanyisa n'ab'engalo ne sabbuuni ate nga nkozesa ne kasanitayiza kange.
Tulwanyise korona tumukomye, tudde ku nnomo, tonsemberera, lekawo ebbanga. Obubaka buno bukutuusibwako Minisitule y'ebyobulamu ng'ewagiddwa USAID.
Jesse TV, changing lives.